There's an unrighteous peace in some neighborhoods. How many of you know there's such a thing as righteous peace, but there's also such a thing as unrighteous peace? We're here in North Hills today where 3 rival gangs have been killing each other for 30 or 40 years. People have to cower inside their apartments with the blinds drawn for fear that they might come out in broad daylight and get shot. There are neighborhoods where the peace depends on the honest, hardworking folks in the community keeping their mouths shut and looking the other way. We're here to disturb that unrighteous peace.
Jesus looks at you and he sees that you need him.
I'm Schwartzbart, driver of MotorGospel Ministries John 3:16 race car, and I'm excited today to be here in North Hills for the MotorGospel Peace March. We're here to spread the aroma of Jesus Christ into this relatively troubled community. And today we're standing here shoulder to shoulder with the police. We have ex-cons, hardened criminals standing here shoulder to shoulder with the police department.
What we're here for today is to support a Peace March, and the Peace March is put on by MotorGospel Ministries, and it's in conjunction with Victory Outreach and Brewline Men's Fellowship. And basically they're going to be doing a Peace March through our Safer Cities initiative area.
Se pierda, mas tenga la vida eterna. For God so loved the world.
Love is the answer. Without love, we can't be healed. Without love, we can't be saved.
Jesus Christ loves this community. We came MotorGospel Ministries. We came Brewline. We came Victory Outreach.
This neighborhood, like several other neighborhoods, has had a very unrighteous peace. They have a history of an unrighteous peace that depends on the fathers having to make tough calls between doing the right thing or protecting their families. Well, we're here to disturb that unrighteous peace.
There's a lot of different issues in and around the community. It's a community made up of a lot of different people. There are some problems, and one of those problems is gangs.
People can be free to talk to their neighbors and to talk to the cops and to talk to everybody without fear of getting shot.
These partnerships that we have in these communities where the LAPD mission area and the clergy and MotorGospel come together. For us, it's a really positive experience.
We're very excited to partner with the Los Angeles Police Department, Brewline Men's Fellowship, Victory Outreach. Thank you all.
There were a lot of people showing support as we drove by. This really does impact our communities here. Thank you for your hard work. It was a job well done.
The partnership between MotorGospel and LAPD, the time is the effort that we spend understanding each other, working with each other, and that became very evident recently when Aaron actually went to our police commission and spoke about some of the benefits that this partnership had in educating, building understanding, and really supporting the communities that we're all working in.
I'm Schwartzbart, driver of MotorGospel Ministries John 3:16 race car, and I'm here to commend the excellent community policing of Captain Todd Chamberlain and his team at Mission Station in Mission Hills. He and his team have exhibited a tremendous balance amongst professionalism, warmth, and importantly, common sense. They've kept the politics and the bureaucracy to a minimum and working cooperatively with our organization, MotorGospel Ministries, toward our common goal of seeing young people make it to adulthood without killing themselves or anybody else. The excellent example of community policing that we're seeing at Mission Station may be a reflection of this Board of Commissioners, so y'all are to be commended as well for providing this service to the community.
When we get the opportunity to work with MotorGospel, where they may have in their congregations a number of people, some of the people that were involved in this Peace March might have been causing issues in these communities. And now, instead of causing bad issues, they're coming back and trying to make a positive change.
I've known Eddie about a year now, or a year and a half, and he has quite a tale to tell. We sent him to Vietnam to make very tough choices, and then we brought him back and expected him to adapt to life here. That was a little bit difficult. The first time they arrested you, you hospitalized cops.
I was always against all law enforcement for almost 40 years. I was facing like 500 years to life. I got out in October, and I've been out ever since. I can't pay God back for what he's done to me, but I can serve him, showing other people what he can do for them. We'll continuously do this.
We are trying to impact a community and make it safer. For us, it's a really incredibly positive experience.
Peace March, absolutely most amazing thing for me about the Peace March, out of many amazing things, this whole story, it continues to get more incredible with each year, it seems like, is that I didn't have to barely do anything, and I felt very, very comfortable, ironically peaceful on a Peace March, letting all the other pastors sweat and do all the hard work.
Your ears, your heart, and Jesus' presence here.
They did such a wonderful job. Fred and Rodney and Salvador and Saul and Howard, everybody did such a wonderful job on the microphone today. And all of this is icing on the cake in so many ways compared to all the hard work that's gone on behind the scenes. We had many wonderful churches represented today. We need more events like this in the community. The partnership with the Los Angeles Police Department has been nothing short of amazing.
Today's Peace March was a real success. Appreciate the efforts of Aaron, appreciate the efforts of Motor Gospel, and this partnership that we have is really moving in the right direction.
We're grateful to Captain Todd Chamberlain and all his slows and pros at Mission Station, and working cooperatively with MotorGospel Ministries toward our common goal of seeing young people make it to adulthood without killing themselves or anybody else.
In 2015, during law enforcement-related controversies in Ferguson, New York City, and Hollywood, not everybody was protesting. In fact, many in the community were working to build bridges with the police. One such person is Aaron Schwartzbart.
In 40 years as a rocket scientist, I have honed my ability to make decisions off of data and not merely emotions. The data indicate that for every one person of color killed by law enforcement under legitimately questionable circumstances, there are hundreds or thousands of people of color killed by gangs, drugs, and drunk drivers. If we care about social injustice, we need to care about the people killed by gangs, drugs, and drunk drivers. Questionable killings by law enforcement account for only a small fraction of a percent. According to the data, it is simply not true that law enforcement is the majority of the problem.
Schwartzbart left the space program in 2013 to devote full time to his charity MotorGospel Ministries. MotorGospel Ministries partners with the Los Angeles Police Department, the National Auto Sports Association, and Brewline Men's Fellowship to encourage healthy alternatives for at-risk youth such as amateur motorsports. Schwartzbart is a 5-time champion race car driver and an ordained minister. Schwartzbart is quick to credit LAPD Captain Todd Chamberlain with making it very easy for MotorGospel to support the community, emphasizing that Todd has earned a reputation for minimizing the politics and the bureaucracy. Together, they hope MotorGospel will encourage others in the community to build bridges with law enforcement in addressing a host of issues such as gangs, drugs, drunk driving, illegal street racing, and human trafficking.
I got a story to tell you. 4 kids, 17 years old, coming up 5 in the city of Commerce, Southern California. Their whole lives ahead of them. They weren't drinking, they weren't buzzed, they weren't partying, they weren't street racing, they weren't doing nothing but coming back from a day at Disneyland. And an 18-wheeler fell out of the sky on their car. 3 kids were killed on the spot. The 1 kid is still in a coma to this day. The man in the 18-wheeler, UPS veteran driver, 15-year veteran at his place of work, he burned to death. His truck was so wadded up they couldn't extricate him, and he died an unspeakably horrible death. All that misery and that heartache was caused by some guy who thought he was a race car driver. He did a pit maneuver on the 18-wheeler. 18-wheeler was minding his own business at work, going 65 miles an hour in the proper lane. This guy winged him at 120 miles an hour and sent the 18-wheeler up a K-rail, and it launched, and it landed on these kids. The saddest thing, all of that is unspeakably sad, right? But sadder than 3 kids dying with their whole lives ahead of them, in my opinion, 1 still in a coma, a man leaving a widow and a kid that he'll never be able to walk his kid down the aisle and all that stuff, is that all this happened within 30 minutes of the nearest legal racetrack. If that dude would have changed his zip code, that aspiring wannabe driver would have changed his zip code by 30 minutes, those people would still be alive today.
And he could be racing and trying that speed and doing that thing he wants to do.
Thank you.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? I mean, you know, we all, as young ones, go, okay, yeah, it's exciting. Ooh, I'm on my own. I'm in control. I can do this thing. And then people get inspired by films like, The Fast and the Furious and this sort of thing. And but the truth of the matter is, it's a different ball of wax when you step up with someone like you, right, a professional like you that can actually be faster than more powerful than a locomotive and faster than a speeding bullet. But it's important, so, and what you do, you take that kid and you bring. I understand your program has zero recidivism, which is unbelievable. So that desire, that taste, that I want to be somebody cool, go race, is a whole different ball of wax when I sit down with a profession. Right.
Get by, and it's Charger going 860 to 1003. Have a Charger over in the left lane and the Honda here in the right lane.
With over 20 tracks available from San Diego to Bakersfield, there's no excuse for doing it on the streets. We'll see you on the track.
Hey, it's Joey Medina from the Morning Invasion on Latino 96.3. I'm here to tell you about my good friend, Aaron Schwartzbart. And as a former street racer, Aaron has a message for you.
Street racing is for wannabes. You think you're fast? Bring it to the track.
I may be a comedian, but street racing is no joke. Please, don't get caught dead street racing.
This is Aaron Schwartzbart, driver of MotorGospel Ministries John 316 race car, and I'm excited today to be here at Buttonwillow Raceway Park for the unveiling of the Cadet Race Team car, sponsored by MotorGospel Ministries in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department. As some of you may be aware, there are greater than 15 legal sanctioned motorsports events per month within 2 hours of the San Fernando Valley from March through October, and yet young people are still dying in street racing related accidents, and they're taking innocent bystanders with them. In fact, 5 of the most recent street racing related fatalities here in the Southland were within 30 minutes of the nearest legal racetrack. So clearly we need to do a better job of getting young people off of the streets and out to the track. We're tremendously excited about the cooperation between the LAPD Street Racing Task Force and MotorGospel Ministries. We have members of the LAPD Street Racing Task Force here.
I'm here with Aaron from MotorGospel Ministries. We're here today at Buttonwillow Raceway. Today we had members of the cadets from Central Division perform the color guard, and we're working in partnership, bringing awareness to illegal street racing, trying to save lives, trying to get street racing off of the streets and onto tracks.
Here at a typical NASA race weekend, we have $3 million worth of cars on $500,000 worth of tires, making a combined 50,000 horsepower. And anybody 18 or over can sample this for free. I said for free, riding in the passenger seat with one of our qualified instructors at speeds up to 200 miles an hour. So for its maiden voyage, the Cadet Race Team car is going to be used as a pace car for our NASA National Championships. And young J.W. Baxter, our rising young star at MotorGospel, he will be driving the Cadet Race Team car.
Following the John 316 car out onto the track right now, and we're just going to have some fun.
This is a safe and controlled environment in which to exercise the need for speed. And anybody who thinks they have something to offer in this venue should come and pursue a racing career with us, not street racing. Here at Buttonwillow Raceway Park, we're grateful that it's not a hate crime to drive like a homicidal maniac, in the right place, at the right time.
In cooperation with the LAPD CTD Street Racing Task Force and a small army of sponsors, MotorGospel Ministries started what they call the Beat the Heat program. Now, the Beat the Heat program provided an opportunity for motorsports enthusiasts, including illegal street racers, to compete against off-duty LAPD officers in a heads-up 1/8 mile drags. Now, the officers drove the Cadet Race Team car provided by MotorGospel Ministries at no cost to the taxpayers or the LAPD. The idea was that the Beat the Heat program would encourage illegal street racers to move their motorsports to the track.
This is Aaron Schwartzbart, driver of MotorGospel Ministries John 316 race car, and I'm excited to be here at Urbandale Drag Strip for MotorGospel Ministries Beat the Heat program. MotorGospel's Beat the Heat program gives anybody and everybody the opportunity to race against off-duty police officers here at Urbandale's 8th mile for the first time ever. Young Angel Rodriguez was arrested for street racing about 3 months ago, and tonight he's going to be facing off against off-duty Sergeant Jesse Garcia, the officer in charge of LAPD Central Traffic Division Street Racing Task Force.
We're here to show the collaborated effort of getting guys off the street and onto the track.
It's an unprecedented thing for the courts to sentence an illegal street racer to come and race against a cop legally and safely here at Irwindale Drag Strip.
We also have now this outreach effort to educate. There's a lot of things in existence now that were not even remote thoughts 3 years ago. We've been lucky that we've had the support that we've been able to get from the local law enforcement agencies, the county law enforcement agencies, and the state law enforcement agencies.
When I got in trouble for street racing, some guy in a BMW pulls up right next to me. We just started racing. Once we got out the first exit, the first red light when we stopped, cops pull up on us, pull us out the car, have us in cuffs.
Sergeant Garcia's street racing task force arrested young Angel for street racing just 3 months ago.
In addition to the outreach organizations such as MotorGospel, ultimately we're all working with the same goal: safe, sanctioned venue in the interest of protecting people's lives and safety. And Angel's a prime example of that.
I met Aaron. I started on 2017, November.
He's spreading the anti-street racing message in the community.
I'm very, very happy and thankful that there's these events that take place here.
What we do is we sanction drag strips all across the country, 120 tracks across the country, but work with them on the programs that we've tried and tested and proven over the years.
I thank all the sponsors, and I thank Aaron and all his team members.
The program out here is basically one of our street legal drags programs. We're teaming up with MotorGospel, the LAPD Beat the Heat program, and basically we've got Sergeant Jesse Garcia out here.
I met Angel after he got himself in some trouble for street racing.
So Angel is racing against Sergeant Garcia out here.
So we got Angel in the Lexus.
On the drag strip, they did some donuts in the burnout box, and they're gonna hit the drag strip again.
Find more support from anybody who's willing to support this campaign, because again, the name of the game is to save lives and keep people safe.
Well, you know, I was once on a track. I own an Aston Martin. I'm very blessed and lucky to do that. So they brought a bunch of us owners out and had us be able to race the Aston Martins, all their different models, and they'd stick a driver with us. They did hot laps with the driver first, and our eyes bugged out of our heads. Then they took us out there and let us drive and told us when to brake and when to turn. There was cones and all these little things. And it started getting good to me. And I was like, hey, I'm pretty good at this. I'm getting good. I'm in the fastest car now at this one point in time, and I'm really getting it going. And I'm like, I'm pulling up the people. I'm like, should I try to pass them or whatever? And I'm listening to my driver tell me. And then I happen to notice, as I think I'm doing great, this red car is reeling me in like I'm standing still, and then comes at 125, 135 miles an hour right up next to me as we're going into a turn. I just was like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And then that car packed behind me. I'm like, what? How did that happen? I know my car is faster. And he's like, well, that's a racer. That's a racer, and it's a different ball of wax. And the things you teach these kids, I can't even imagine what it does to their brain.
On community service with MotorGospel Ministries due to a speed-related infraction, 17-year-old Haley Nobles is featured along with special guest driver John Lewis, mayor of La Mirada. Neither Haley nor the mayor had any formal racing experience. Both are captured on film experiencing triple-digit speeds in bumper-to-bumper traffic for the first time. Both newcomers had their hands full. Both emerged from their cars and took their helmets off to reveal big smiles.
This is Aaron Schwartzbart, driver of MotorGospel Ministries John 316 race car, and I'm excited today to be here at Buttonwillow Raceway Park for MotorGospel Ministries anti-street racing outreach event. The mayor of La Mirada has a street racing problem, and Mayor John Lewis is demonstrating to his constituents that he's a man of action by coming here and driving at triple-digit speeds in bumper-to-bumper traffic to demonstrate to the people of La Mirada that there is a right time and a right place for motorsports.
We have local street racers from around the area. They come over and they take over our intersections and they race down our main street. It's a big public safety issue in our streets.
There is a right time and a right place for motorsports, and that is not in the streets of La Mirada.
We need to show people how dangerous street racing is for not only the driver, but also for the passengers as well as the people that stand by and watch this.
He's coming here to Buttonwillow Raceway Park to drive in MotorGospel Ministries anti-street racing educational activity.
MotorGospel Ministries is here to show us how dangerous the street racing can be.
We'll be instructing him just as we would instruct any young person that's been arrested for street racing and sentenced by the courts to community service with MotorGospel Ministries.
Aaron Schwartzbart has gone through many of these programs with people that have been sentenced to public service.
Along with Mayor John Lewis will be the debut of Haley Nobles. Haley Nobles is a 17-year-old young lady who got community service for a speed-related infraction. Court sentences young people to come to the track with us.
I ended up at MotorGospel because I got a speeding ticket as the sign changed into a construction zone.
Her mom moved the family to California.
We got connected with MotorGospel, and it ended up being a great connection because we were able to do some community service, and it introduced us to something completely different.
So Haley is doing her community service with MotorGospel Ministries behind the wheel of a cop car here at the track in our anti-street racing outreach event.
Part of it is about the turn that you're in, part of it is about the turn that's coming up. This is, by the way, the most difficult track.
I feel like my experience here has been different from other community service because I've actually had a good time.
Give a dash, put the car on the right. Point. Left. There. You're doing great, Haley. Very proud of you.
As a mom, it's always hard to let your kids do something that seems risky, but really I felt like she was in really good hands. She was safe, she was protected.
It's not worth it. It's not worth speeding out on the roads and risking getting arrested or putting yourself and others in danger.
We've had our new friends out there. They're definitely getting to experience that there's a little more to this racing stuff than meets the eye.
The safe way to do it is coming out to this track and doing it in a way where they have safety precautions to keep everyone safe.
For Haley, it was a bit of a coming-of-age experience. She didn't end up in front of a judge in Georgia for a speed-related infraction due to deliberate malice. In fact, she always wanted to race legitimately, but lacked the specific guidance from motorsport professionals that she has found with MotorGospel Ministries. Her day at the track was affirming. She has expressed an interest in continuing in motorsports and has a promising future. Now for the mayor, his day of controlled automotive mayhem as a student in MotorGospel's anti-street racing program carries perhaps much more gravity. He has significant responsibility for the safety of his community. He's demonstrating with both words and actions that there is a time and a place for racing and that it is not in the streets of La Mirada. Nobody can tell Mayor John Lewis that there is nowhere to race legally. He has been there.
Where do we begin? Angel Rodriguez, twice arrested for street racing. Sergeant Jesse Garcia picked up the phone before he was even arraigned, picked up the phone and said, Aaron, can you do something with this kid? He's here with his mom. His mom is crying and she's asking for help. And this sergeant is a badass. I'm sorry, there's no nice Christianese word for badass.
I think that's in the Christian Bible. I think that is badass in there.
Right. He's a Marine. He's really hard as, he's tough as nails, Jesse Garcia.
Hardest, tough as nails.
Right. But he's got a heart as big as Texas. And he picked up he didn't have to, he picked up the phone. I went to Angel's arraignment. We took him out to Willow Springs. We arrived on a Friday night, in the night, when there was an enduro going on. So the cars are blasting up around the Omega with headlights. There are no lights on the track. They're blasting around triple digit speeds, bumper to bumper traffic with headlights in the dark. And that's how we arrived. That was his introduction to the track. His eyes were like this big. He's literally never street raced.
You literally just started a movie. You just opened the film.
Right.
That's the opening of the film.
Right.
Did you guys enjoy it? I did.
Based on the success of the after-school auto shop club that they offered at the Granada Hills-based MotorGospel Youth Center, they launched a mobile version of the program where students would get hands-on with MotorGospel Ministries race cars at police stations throughout Los Angeles. The successful program had robust support from LA City Council member John Lee and La Mirada Mayor John Lewis. Now, if prior experience is any indicator, some of the youth in the program will demonstrate passion, commitment, and tenacity that will earn them a fast track into employment opportunities at the likes of Galpin Ford and educational opportunities in the Cal State University Northridge Mechanical Engineering program. One of the distinctives of the CSUN major is Formula SAE Racing, a national race series among collegiate engineering students.
This is Aaron Schwartzbart, and I'm excited to be here in Sylmar tonight with the LAPD Valley Traffic Division Street Racing Task Force. As you know, we operate a life-saving anti-street racing campaign for the LAPD
Hi, I'm Sergeant Greg Fuqua with the Los Angeles Police Department out of Valley Traffic Division. Tonight what occurred was approximately 50 motorists doing burnouts and donuts, driving recklessly.
We delivered our first shipment of anti-street racing literature to the LAPD for distribution to people that they hook up.
The dangerous thing about it is there were numerous pedestrians, including children, watching. These vehicles were coming within inches of hitting them.
If this program saves any lives, we have a number of people to thank for it.
Tonight, we ended up making 18 arrests, impounding a vehicle for 30 days.
This anti-street racing literature features Angel Rodriguez, who was arrested for street racing, sentenced by the court to community service with MotorGospel Ministries' Beat the Heat program.
There's alternatives where they can race and they can do their donuts in boxes legally. One of our goals isn't just to enforce, but it's also to educate.
MotorGospel Ministries also sponsored a monthly anti-street racing outreach event at MB2 Raceway in Sylmar. In cooperation with LA City Council President Pro Tempore Mitchell Englander, the LAPD Central Traffic Division, and the LAPD Valley Traffic Division, MotorGospel Ministries held a monthly Beat the Heat event to allow civilians the opportunity to race against off-duty LAPD officers.
This is Aaron Schwartzbart, driver of MotorGospel Ministries' John 316 race car. And I'm excited to be here at the 4th annual Race for Youth, put on by Mission Community Police Council in cooperation with the LAPD and many community organizations such as MotorGospel Ministries. We have a silent auction back there. The Race for Youth is a no-holds-barred go-kart race between civilians and uniformed police officers here at MB2 in Sylmar.
Yo, what you do, man? Is that your car wrapped around the pole? Man, your homie never even came back for you.
My name is Todd Chamberlain. I'm the captain with LAPD, the Mission area, and I just would like to thank everyone for this event. And as you can see behind me, we have go-karts that are racing on a track. We have loud music, and this event is really what it does for our youth. Race for Youth is exactly what it stands for. The money that's raised for this event, the money that comes together from this event from various different sponsors, helps support the youth and the children that live in and around the Mission area.
Here at MB2 in beautiful downtown Sylmar, California. It's one of the only places that civilians like myself can get to do a pit maneuver on a police officer in uniform without getting tased for it. And all of the money goes to at-risk youth programs. We need more events like this in the community.
Illegal street racing, it can't be tolerated when there's so many venues and so many places like this where things can be enjoyed. This allows them to come off the streets and come into a structured facility and a structured program that really gives them information and gives them standards in life that make them better citizens.
My name is Melanie McShane. I am with the Mission Community Police Council. We are the organization that does fundraising for Mission Community Police Station. And Race for Youth is an event that we put together. We have been working with the Sylmar Neighborhood Council over the past 4 years.
This is absolutely the most creative thing I've seen to raise money for at-risk youth. It's an incredible event, and we're grateful to Melanie and to all the Mission Community Police Council for putting events like this on. We look forward to more next year. This has been Aaron Schwartzbart for MotorGospel Ministries.
Produced in cooperation with JC Films and the Parent Help Center, the film Success Camp follows the stories of troubled teens from various backgrounds and their troubled parents brought together by a common need for an objective outside opinion. Now, the overarching theme of Success Camp is that sometimes the best way to help troubled teens is to teach the parents how to be parents. The Parents Help Center should know they have been healing that which is broken since their founding in 2002, with their unique approach of requiring both the teenagers and the parents to attend the camp. JC Films offers faith-based charities such as MotorGospel Ministries and the Parent Help Center access to high-caliber actors such as Dean Cain and Kevin Sorbo to help further their charitable causes through powerfully acted dramas. Success Camp is no exception. Some would say the epic tensions between Cain as the judge and second-generation up-and-comer Braden Sorbo as the street racer rivals that of Rod Steiger and Sidney Poitier in the original In the Heat of the Night. Take a look at the trailer.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Connors is presiding. You may now be seated.
You've been charged with speeding and reckless driving. How do you plead?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever. Okay, are we keeping you from something, Mr. Adams?
No, just do what you gotta do.
Okay, I'll do what I gotta do. I find you guilty, and I'm revoking your driver's license until you're 18 years old. I've got a little surprise for you.
You do? I understand you like to go fast.
This book was written by a man who loves speed more than life itself. For people who love speed more than life itself, Street Racing 101 is written in plain language for readers as young as 13, but is highly recommended for anybody of any age who wants to credibly articulate why motorsports belongs at the track and not in the street. Some would suggest that the book should be required reading for any adult that can influence the next generation to make the community a safer place. Teachers, counselors, and parents of teenagers can help save lives armed with the clear, objective arguments presented in Street Racing 101.
I'm not a politician. I'm not a government official. I'm not a cop. I'm not any of these things. I'm just a guy doing his part. For 20 years, I've managed to have this increasing impact on the community, possibly saving lives together.
You may or may not know it, but La Mirada has a street racing problem. Mayor John Lewis is demonstrating to his constituents by coming here and driving at triple-digit speeds in bumper-to-bumper traffic with qualified instructors such as myself to demonstrate to the people of La Mirada that there is a right time and a right place for motorsports, and that is not in the streets of La Mirada.
For 20 years, I've managed to have this impact on the community with people like Mayor Lewis.
We have a major street racing problem in the city of La Mirada. We have many cars that come out and race. They go down our main street. They take over intersections. They do what they call drifting by doing donuts with multiple people standing around. This is a danger to all the citizens as well as the racers.
1,000 people died in street racing related accidents. Many of them were innocent bystanders minding their own business. Many of them were never given a choice.
We need to show people how dangerous street racing is for not only the driver, but also for the people that stand by and watch this.
What we're doing tonight at La Mirada City Council is we're going to be looking at a new ordinance.
Good evening, everyone. I'm calling to order the November 10th, 2020 regular study session of the La Mirada City Council.
I think your legislation could help expose young people to the opportunities we offer at the track.
MotorGospel Ministries take young men tempted by street racing, teaches them a safer, legal way.
Item 4.2, penalties pertaining to motor vehicle speed contests and exhibitions of speed.
It's the work of a rocket scientist turned pastor.
Many of the recent noteworthy street racing related fatalities have happened within 30 minutes of the nearest legal venue.
There are serious consequences of engaging in motor vehicle speed contests.
This is something we need to take up, and we need to lead on this.
You don't need to be a lawyer or a judge to impact the court system. I'm Aaron Schwartzbart, President and Pastor of MotorGospel Ministries, and I'm very excited to be here tonight to support the anti-street racing ordinance. We have 3 avenues by which we get students into the program, one of which is the courts sentencing them to community service.
I think court-ordered programs are a good way to go. Get a court order for some type of community program that we can send them to.
If you can refer people to our program pre-sentencing,
the judge can have the option.
The courts are sending people to us on alternative sentencing. People that don't necessarily have deliberately nefarious motives because they're 17 years old and they want to be race car drivers.
I met Aaron 2017, November. I got in trouble for street racing.
In MotorGospel Ministries anti-street racing event, court sentences young people as a form of rehabilitation.
MotorGospel Ministries can be involved in plea bargaining to save the court and the taxpayers some time.
You don't need to be a judge to influence the court system.
Aaron Schwartzbart, a former stock car racer. His organization helps young drivers with a need for speed to get off the streets.
I ended up at MotorGospel because I got a speeding ticket.
Many of the young drivers who get in trouble for illegal street racing, they are often referred by the courts to MotorGospel.
One of my goals is to try and stop people from doing it before they do it.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm a race car driver. I'm just a guy doing his part. My track record speaks for itself.
We've had some wonderful kids. They come to us from the schools that responded very favorably to working on the race cars.
LAUSD sends kids from their IEP program that are on the autism spectrum.
He's put together some campaigns that raise awareness for street racing.
All kinds of people have come alongside and helped.
Aaron's got some brilliant ideas coming forth to bring even more awareness and education.
I'm not a teacher. We at MotorGospel Ministries are influencing the educational system.
It's a fantastic program that helps the community.
You don't have to be a politician to influence legislation.
John Lee has helped us in myriad ways. He's given us endorsements and opened doors for us.
What Aaron has been able to do, give kids an alternative to street racing.
He got a grant from LA City for an anti-street racing simulator.
The simulator brings education to people, letting them know that it's dangerous to street race.
It allows a kid to try and text while driving. It has drunk driving simulation.
I think the community is encouraged anytime they hear any kind of new program or anything that we can do to try to combat street racing on their streets.
You too can impact this community. Find a cause about which you're passionate. You might be surprised at the impact you have. As we enter the year of the 20th anniversary of MotorGospel Ministries, people are starting to ask for me to lead in the community. I didn't plan to have this influence on government. I've influenced politics without being a politician. I'm not making campaign promises. My track record speaks for itself.
Two kinds of white boys got beat up by Bruce Lee in the early 70s, right? The ones that ran away cussing and spitting and saying, talking all big, even as they were running away, fleeing from the beating they took. And the other kind came to him and said, "Can you teach me to beat people up like that?" Angel humbled himself, and he beat up on much faster cars with that ratty old Lexus.
Well, that's unbelievable. You get to take out a kid. That's a perfect example. And when you talk in large terms, it's hard for people to understand. Nobody's ever done it again. No recidivism, this, that. But you actually take this one kid. You say, Angel, here's his story. Yeah. Then everybody can relate to that and to that person. And I think that's amazing. Did he? So what happened to him as things went on?
He did not stick with it as a pro driver. I thought he had the potential to be a pro guy, but he shifted gears, so to speak. He's a successful businessman now. He's not street racing. He's not getting in trouble. So I got to call that a success.
That's a huge success.
I would have loved to have seen him go stick with it. But
the fact that he had the tools is kind of amazing.
Yes.
But he could have been that 17-year-old kid who hit the back of that 18-wheeler.
Right,
it could have been his situation.
Right,
and that's a whole different life.
Right.
And you look at the pinball effect for what it affects to those poor children who are on the ground, that driver. It's horrifically tragic. So, by changing one kid's life, you may have changed 100 people's lives.
Right.
Fully Caged features LAPD Deputy Chief Al Labrada in his drag racing debut behind the wheel of MotorGospel's Fully Caged police pursuit vehicle. The all-star crew for Labrada's debut consisted of cadets that were trained at the LAPD Rampart Station by Schwartzbart and a cadre of guest instructors from MotorGospel Ministries After School Auto Shop Club under the supervision of Youth Services Officers, or YSOs, Larry Covington and Regina Andrews. The importance of the relationship between the YSOs and the cadets cannot be overstated. For some of the youth, the YSOs are their sole source of both affirmation and discipline. It is not surprising that cadets are often the first members of their families to attend college.
This is Aaron Schwartzbart, driver of MotorGospel Ministries John 316 race car, and I'm excited today to be here at Irwindale Drag Strip for MotorGospel's Beat the Heat program. LAPD Deputy Chief Al Labrada is going to be competing in MotorGospel Ministries cadet race team car.
I'm Al Labrada with LAPD Operations Central Bureau. I'm really happy to be here with Aaron for a good awareness piece and a chance to get on the track to talk about street safety. I think it's an important opportunity for us to highlight the importance of safety and then also raise some awareness of the dangers that it causes.
Goal here, as you can hear from the vehicles in the background,
they're going to do an eighth of a mile race against the deputy chief.
For me, it's an opportunity to race a car and to help the kids.
There's a great youth group here that Aaron's been working with.
We're going to have a crew who is going to consist of cadets from LAPD's Rampart Division.
So our cadets are our youth volunteers that work at our stations. They come out, they help us at the station.
MotorGospel Ministries has been offering our after-school auto shop club at LAPD Rampart Station.
So it kind of provides them an incentive to keep a good grade.
We're teaching them after-school auto shop at Rampart Division. Captain Al Lopez, Sergeant Marcelo Garcia were innovative in building bridges with the community. For the first time ever, MotorGospel Ministries is going to be sponsoring an award, the MotorGospel RT Shootout Award.
Aaron Schwartzbart, a former stock car racer. His organization helps young drivers with a need for speed to get off the streets.
The courts are sending people to us on alternative sentencing, people that don't necessarily have deliberately nefarious motives because they're 17 years old and they want to be race car drivers.
One of my goals is to try and stop people from doing it before they do it.
5 of the most recent street racing-related fatalities were within 30 minutes of the nearest legal racing venue.
It sounds like there's plenty of opportunity for them to come legally, get that adrenaline out.
The lack of opportunity is not the reason people are dying. The lack of facilities is not the reason people are dying. It's a lack of awareness.
We see a lot of deaths with our youth, a lot of families affected by street racing.
It's a lack of having guys like me come along that were homicidal maniacs with the steering wheel 30 years ago, showing them the right way to do it.
There's a lot of opportunities for these youth to come to these events in a controlled environment, in a safe environment.
Right now, the vehicles are getting prepared for the track. They do a little checklist.
I'm here with Captain Al Lopez, without whom none of this stuff would have happened. He's demonstrated a lot of bold innovation in building bridges between the LAPD and the community of Los Angeles, the people of Los Angeles.
I'm a partner with MotorGospel and Aaron and with everything he does.
Folks like Al Lopez and myself, we've been doing this kind of thing in the community for decades.
Bring it to the track. It's the 8th mile. It's only $40. You can race your car.
One of the very, very cool fruits of our efforts is the fact that where we started off with a group of cadets that knew nothing about race cars, they didn't know how to change oil, they didn't know what a spark plug was. Well, they've learned a thing or two. They have graduated to the point where they are now the crew for Deputy Chief Labrada's debut here at the racetrack. What have you learned so far from being part of MotorGospel Ministries After School Auto Shop?
I've learned so much.
We put a heavy emphasis on club. We never know when we do the MotorGospel After School Auto Shop Club. We never know whether we're meeting young people that are going to become automotive professionals one day.
I've always had like a fascination for cars. It's always something that sort of grabbed my attention.
They're going to be going through tech. So now this is tech inspection. The tech inspector is looking at the car. He's looking to make sure everything's safe on the car, see if anything needs to be adjusted or changed before any of the officers can drive it. And then he's tagging it with a number that corresponds to each officer that's going to drive. How you feeling, Chief?
Excited. We're getting the car inspected and we should be going pretty soon.
And so if there's anything you don't like, you see anything you want to discuss, this is the crew. This is the cadets from LAPD Rampart Division.
We're about to welcome Deputy Chief of LAPD with MotorGospel Ministries.
I'm really excited. We've been looking forward to this for months. We're here to educate our youth and to show them that you can do this safely.
Congratulations on winning the inaugural MotorGospel Ministries RT Shootout Award.
Thank you very much for this acknowledgement. And the 20 years of service that you've given to educating and prevention of that, we really thank you and we're grateful for all you do in this community. God bless you. I also want to acknowledge the great work of our Rampart officers and civilian staff here, cadets for the work they do, as well as being my pit crew.
Keep up the great work, sir. If our program has saved any lives, we have you to thank for it.
MotorGospel has come in and they have helped us with an issue that has plagued the city of Los Angeles with street racing. When you look at how you partner with different organizations and now partnering with Rampart Division and really working with these young future leaders, Aaron, thank you for this relationship. Thank you for being part of the family and thank you for helping the kids of Rampart.
We're here with Deputy Chief Labrada from LAPD, Rodrigo Hernandez from CHP, Sergeant Jesse Garcia from Central Traffic Division SRT, Street Racing Task Force.
We come together as a community, and the community is not just the residents, it's also law enforcement, coming together for a common cause.
Sergeant Garcia with the SRT is around fast cars all the time.
This is an option out here. Take it to the track. We encourage it, we advocate it,
We support it. Hey, come out and race, but do it on a racetrack somewhere where it's safe and people aren't going to get hurt.
What I really want to acknowledge is the work of these gentlemen and their teams of what they do to make our streets safer.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your support of this important program. Together we may save a life. The Los Angeles Police Department, the California Highway Patrol, and the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department are united with MotorGospel Ministries in our common goal of seeing young people make it to adulthood without killing themselves or anybody else behind the wheel. This is Aaron Schwartzbart, driver of MotorGospel Ministries John 316 race car, and I'm excited today to be here at the Los Angeles Police Museum for MotorGospel Ministries 20th anniversary celebration.
It's Rodney, Allen, Rippy, and we are celebrating 20 strong years.
Thank you for 20 years of positively impacting so many different lives.
We really appreciate the 20 years at MotorGospel Ministries.
Thank you for all you're doing, Aaron, and God bless your team.
We got a huge crowd here, about 70 guests. It's a really good turnout. We got about 25 or 30 cadets.
I'm Officer Regina Andrews, and we want to thank Aaron for what he has done for our children.
I would like to thank this program for all it's done for me.
It's people like you on the ground floor that are positively impacting lives.
We're here to honor Aaron and their program and the wonderful work they've done. Keep up the good work, guys.
Aaron Schwartzbart has done a fantastic job.
Aaron Schwartzbart, he's been working, making a difference in the community.
The 20 years of great service in educating our youth, and more importantly, saving lives.
Aaron has helped individuals learn and respect the law and respect community values.
20 years helping LAPD with the programs.
I want to express my appreciation to MotorGospel for the work they do.
20 years ago, I came to believe God called me to put John 316 on the side of a race car. Christians that I respected and loved, they all said, don't do it. 20 years later, we're here celebrating the 2021 championship.
Without people like Aaron, I really could not do my job.
Aaron, I just want to tell you, Godspeed Calvary Chapel is committing $5,000 annually to your ministry.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, and hope to see you again in another 20 years.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
Here's to 20 more years in the future.
You truly are our hero.
I'd like to say to Aaron, thank you very much, Aaron, for sponsoring this and all you do for community and city and policemen. These are the kind of things that we're all here for, and I'm glad to see that you're so philanthropic and, more importantly, that you're sensitive about other people's hearts and needs. God bless you.
And Angel actually said he would have probably been dead if not for MotorGospel Ministries. And it's probably not an exaggeration. Dead or killing somebody else.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not the only, that's one example of, how many would you say?
Oh, dozens, certainly, if not hundreds, yeah. We've reached millions worldwide with the anti-street racing message through media and stuff like that. But as far as personal coaching, me sitting in the passenger seat all day long, training at least 100 or 200, something like that, yeah.
That branches out and touches thousands and thousands of lives.
And then, now to have talent of your stature with Jason's help and stuff, getting this message out there. If we're reaching one for every 1,000 that need, maybe now we'll reach 100 for every 1,000 that need by virtue of
If we can be a conduit to make that happen, it's a blessing. And I hope if you're sitting out there at home right now thinking, oh man, I want to be a cool racer, that's a cool racer.
Right.
And he'll mop the floor with you as cool as you think you are. So if you think you want to try that, that's who you go talk to, and you'll humble yourself, and it'll change your life.
Yes.
I'm here with Sergeant Evie Orocho. What can I say about the cooperation between MotorGospel Ministries and the Los Angeles Police Department? The 3 years since leaving the space program have been absolutely surreal, and it's been largely attributable to everybody at Mission Community Station, from Todd Chamberlain on down, Evie, and everybody else there. They've exhibited a tremendous balance amongst warmth, professionalism, and importantly, common sense. They've made it very, very easy for organizations like MotorGospel Ministries to serve their community. You've kept the bureaucracy, you've earned a reputation for keeping the bureaucracy and the politics to a minimum. It's just, what can we all do together to see these young people make it to adulthood without killing themselves or anybody else? We work around our common ground. I can't say enough good about the cooperative work between MotorGospel Ministries and the Los Angeles Police Department. Evie was kind of on point in the Peace March, riding in one of the SUVs, trying to keep us moving so we wouldn't get ambushed by the gang members if we came to a stop during the Peace March. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, I mean, we always want to provide safety for all of the community members, and for such a peace march, we're always cooperative in maintaining the flow of traffic and getting everyone from point A to point B. One of the things that we really enjoy about having the peace marches is how much decrease in crime there is post one of these marches, and so we would like to continue to have them and work in partnership with MotorGospel Ministries as well as any of the groups in our communities that provide services or intervention, prevention to keep our youth safe in those communities that are gang infested. One of the things that we observed during the march was the flow of people that came out of their homes, out of the apartment complexes. We saw that people really wanted to have this peace march, and maybe they didn't know about it, but when they saw us come together, hear the music, hear the people chanting that they wanted to stop the violence and keep the peace, we saw just an overflow of people coming into the streets, holding hands, bringing out signs, and some even waving from window tops. So it was just a good feeling of knowing that people who didn't know each other, the neighbors that who didn't ever speak to each other, that they have come together for a common ground, which was to create peace and in their communities, and let the gangs know that they are not welcome there, that they need to find a common ground where we can all live together and not have violence or shootings in our communities, to keep our communities safe. We would also like to encourage as many people to continue to carry on these marches in our communities, to spread the word of stopping the violence and creating peace, because it is where we live, and where we live is our sanctuary. And so if our sanctuary is unsettled with violence, then there is no peace.
And if I can get a little bit controversial right now, I want anybody seeing this video to take a good look at Sergeant Orocho. Look at this person. This is flesh and blood. This is not some badge on television going around trying to shoot people because of the color of their skin or something. Evie is not a Caucasian man. She's a Puerto Rican, right? PR. She's a Latina, a woman. She carries a gun, yes, because there are people gunning for her, not because she wants to hurt people. This is flesh and blood. This is what you're hating on. If I can get a little controversial, there are some people spreading rhetoric against the police, and it's not honest. As a rocket scientist, in my 28 years in the space program, I learned to make decisions off of data, not off of rhetoric and off of emotions. I honed my ability to make decisions off of data. And the data show that for every one questionable shoot by cops, there are greater than 1,000 killings by gangs, drugs, and drunk drivers. If you really, really care about unjust deaths in the community, you need to care about the 999 out of 1,000 killings by gangs, drugs, and drunk drivers, and stop focusing on the 1 out of 1,000 that might be questionable. And I might add, even in questionable killings, people, flesh and blood people like Sergeant Orocho, are having to make life and death decisions in the blink of an eye. You blink your eyes, that's 250 milliseconds. That's a quarter of a second. You put yourself, those of you watching, you put yourself in Sergeant Orocho's shoes with somebody that's a foot taller than you and outweighs you by 50 pounds with a knife like this coming at you. You have the blink of an eye to decide what you can fumble for and pull it out and do something to save your life so you can go home to your family. I defy anybody that has never stood in the shoes of the cops and been in a life-threatening situation, having to make a life and death decision in the blink of an eye. I defy anybody to honestly say what he or she would not do if he or she were in that situation until you have been in that situation. Come, take a course. Come to the Community Police Academy. They'll put you through that simulator, and they'll give you a toy gun, and you'll face the kinds of situations that these public servants, these sacrificial public servants face, and you'll see what you would do in the blink of an eye when you're being threatened.
These marches do create a place for all community members to come together, whether they know each other or not, no matter what different race or color or creed or religion or sex, that you can come out into the streets and let your community know that you would like peace in your communities.
Do, man? Is that your car wrapped around the pole? Man, your homie never even came back for you. Yo, that kid dead? Yo, he's dead. Straight up, son. Racing in no truck. Yo, you do this for my boy Aaron. Homie, be fast. Homie, be furious. If you think you got the attitude to bring the heat, time for you to step up. Time for you to grow up. Quit sucking milk with the pumps in the street. Racing takes responsibility. Welcome to the track where the big dogs eat meat. Here's a diaper, sit down. And don't get nothing on my passenger seat. There's a reason we got our kids by the side of the track. When we're doing 130 in a bumper pack. A reason for the helmet and the harness and the cage. A reason we ain't in the streets stealing road rage. If your honey or your kid were run down by a fool, would you still think street racing was cool? What would you say? What would you do? I know you wouldn't want this to happen to you. You know how to think twice when you get behind the wheel. Street is not the place to race no matter how you feel. Street race, sucking milk with the bumps in the street. Street bumps to the track where the big dog seats. You know how to think twice when you get behind the wheel. Street is not the place to race no matter how you feel. Street race, sucking milk with the bumps in the street. Street bumps to the track where the big dog seats. Men will be men and boys will be boys. The 10-second street-driven imports ain't toys. If you don't know, there's a sharp contrast between playing a video game and driving your car too fast. And you're probably not man enough to handle the heat. When you're stuck in a tree by the side of the street, if you hit a little kid, a lot of people talk smack. And there's nothing you can do that'll bring the kid back. Silly little wannabe, you chose to play the fool. You ran into a little kid, now you're not so cool. Go back to PlayStation, you ain't ready to be a racer. You saw the boy's mom in court and couldn't even face her. But silly little wannabe, there's hope for guys like you. I got trophies now, but wasn't wannabe too. Come to Cali Speedway and see how we roll. Learning to drive and take your life or even save your soul. You ought to think twice when you get behind the wheel. Street is not the place to race no matter how you feel. Street race, sucking milk with the bumps in the street. Street runs to the track where the big dog seats. You ought to think twice when you get behind the wheel. Street is not the place to race no matter how you feel. Street race, sucking milk with the bumps in the street. Street runs to the track where the big dog seats. Hour in a residential zone, driving like an outlaw. If only I had known that there's a God in heaven who has a plan for me. I never would have rocked the streets so irresponsibly. Now I'm born again, you could say that I've been blessed. I serve my Lord and Savior, driving the fastest pulpit in the West. MotorGospel Ministries from track to track, spreading the gospel word and taking the streets back.